The world in 2025 feels confusing. You hear the news, and it says the economy is growing, but then you talk to your friends, your family, and you look at your own bank account, and life just feels harder. Prices are still high, jobs feel uncertain, and nobody seems to have a clear answer about what comes next. So the real question is a simple one. Are we heading toward a recession, or are we living through a global reset? Let's try to understand this clearly, together. The first thing to know is that the world did not collapse in 2025. There was no global crash. No massive shutdowns like we saw before. No financial meltdown like in 2008. And yet, something still feels wrong. The truth is, the economy didn't crash. It changed direction, growth continued, but it was slow, and it was uneven. Some countries moved forward, while others struggled just to keep up. This lopsided growth created a lot of confusion. In many places, you could look at the stock market and see it rising. At the exact same time, you felt poorer in your daily life. This is where the big contradiction begins. We were told that inflation slowed down, but prices never really came back down. Your rent stayed high. Your groceries stayed expensive. Medical bills and education costs remained a huge burden. So, even when the experts on TV said inflation is under control, most people didn't feel any relief. That's because inflation stopping doesn't mean prices go down. It just means they stop rising as fast. This huge gap between the economic data and our everyday reality is what changed how we all feel about money. Now, another major shift happened quietly in 2025. The world's biggest companies started pouring money into technology. We're talking about artificial intelligence, automation, massive data centers, and advanced robotics. Businesses spent billions of dollars upgrading their systems instead of hiring more people. This created a very strange situation. Companies became more efficient, their profits went up, but for the average worker, job security got weaker. People started to feel replaceable. This is one of the biggest changes of our time. The economy didn't stop working, it just stopped working the same way for human beings. At the same time, central banks all over the world changed their strategy. After years of raising interest rates to fight inflation, many countries began lowering them again. This was done to protect the economy from slowing down too much. Lower interest rates made it easier for businesses and people to borrow money. They supported the markets and helped prevent a total collapse. This move showed us something incredibly important. Governments were no longer fighting inflation as their top priority. They were trying to keep growth alive. That fact alone tells us this wasn't a typical recession. It was a transition. Another critical change came from outside of the Western world. Countries in Asia and parts of the Middle East grew much faster than anyone expected. They had young populations, booming digital economies, and expanding industries that helped them race ahead. Meanwhile, older economies in the West struggled with aging populations and slower rates of innovation. For the first time in decades, global growth wasn't just depending on the US and Europe. This shift quietly changed the balance of economic power around the globe. And then, there was the fear. Not the fear of losing your job tomorrow, but a deeper fear of becoming irrelevant in the long run. People started worrying about their skills. They worried about automation taking over their industries. They worried about being replaced by technology. This fear shapes behavior more than any inflation report or interest rate decision. People started spending less and saving more. They delayed big life decisions, like buying a house or starting a family. This psychological shift mattered more than any government policy. So, what does all of this mean? It means the world did not enter a recession, it entered a reset. A global reset where stability matters more than speed. A reset where your skills matter more than your degree. A reset where your ability to adapt matters more than your years of experience. The old economic rules are fading away. New ones are being written right now, in real time. The system isn't broken. It's being rebuilt. And just like every major transformation in history, this one feels uncomfortable before it starts to feel better. The real danger we face isn't a recession. The real danger is refusing to adapt to this new reality. Because the future isn't going to wait for us to catch up. The global economy isn't ending, it's evolving, and those who understand this shift, who learn the new rules, will be the ones who not only survive it, but win. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, please consider liking this video and subscribing for more content just like this. See you next time.